So today we're talking about Emma Frost, and this character has always been a pretty popular one on my channel. Back when she first came out as a 7-star, I got her pretty fast. Didn't play her immediately, but then I took her to rank 3 actually as my third ever rank 3 7-star during the X Magicka saga, which was like the first ever saga they really did, and she was just extremely good for that saga, especially in Alliance War, which has always been like my primary game mode, and you're going to see a lot of Alliance War gameplay coming from her in this video. And then after the Karina's Volume 4 challenges, I took her to rank 5 because I rolled a Mutant Gem on that class crystal. And then after I rolled the Mutant Gem, same day, or maybe a couple days after, it was during like 9.4 and stuff, I actually ascended her, which was pretty crazy, and that makes this video so much better that she is the ascended version and not just a rank 5 unascended character, but did mean I had to re-record some content because I had some footage with her unascended, and then I needed to redo that with the ascended version. But we'll go ahead and get in some gameplay, of course, and we're going to start against Realm of Legends Winter Soldier, and this is with collectives on. Almost all these fights are with collectives on. I'll make sure to point out when they aren't. But against Winter Soldier, this is just going to be an absolute diabolical nuke. We're just going to get all of our crits here, especially with the challenger rating difference, because we're fighting a 4-star. We're just getting crits super easily. And then I get that double crit special 2, and you can just see the damage on it is just kind of mental. And there's that fight down in 22 seconds, and that's a pretty nice Winter Soldier takedown. But we move on to BGs and BGs Simulator fights, which is just this one BGs fight that I actually have, and then the rest from the beta server, because I really don't play that much BGs anymore. But this is what BGs fights, of course, would look like if you were doing that. And then this is a real one, of course, against a rank 4 Bullseye. And this is going to be pretty quick nuke. This meta had Ebb and Flow protection, the Ebb and Flow knockdown or something. And against Bullseye here, I'm just going to go ahead and trigger all my prowess from Trigger and Bleed Immunity, new ability that she got after her buff, where she does actually get prowess off of triggering immunity to bleed, incinerator, shock, which is pretty nice. And then I go ahead and drop my special 2 here, and then we get the second hit to crits, and that's just lights out for Bullseye. So yeah, really nice there. And then we'll hop on the beta server now for like the rest of the fights. And these are before collectives, which is pretty important to mention because the beta server didn't get updated for BG's health pools with collectives yet. So the fights where I do have collectives, our attack is going to be inflated and the defender's health pool is not going to be inflated. So our damage is going to look a lot better than it really is. But for these fights, they were pre-collectives. So we're going to go ahead and just show the damage before all that. And there brought Punisher down to 18% in like the first 15 seconds of the fight, which is pretty nuts. And then I'm just going to go ahead and build back to another special 1 actually, because yeah, I have 5 prowess, I can just finish them off like that. And then that fight goes down, pretty chill. And that's Punisher down in 31 seconds. And because of the fact that Emma is a mutant hero, we don't need to worry about his indestructibles as long as we drop the special attack when he doesn't have them on. So here we're going to go fight Lumitrix. Emma, we can just go ahead and build up to above a bar of power before Luma gets even like a third of a bar, which is pretty crazy. And then during telepath form, Emma actually can't be evaded, so I can go ahead and just hit him right here, no problems. And then we'll drop the special 2, hopefully get a double crit, and we do, and he's gone. So there's a nice 20-something second Lumitrix fight, 22 seconds, yeah. And then we'll go fight Baron Zemo next, who isn't like an insane defender, but with a lot of mutants now, they are placing debuffs that Baron Zemo can cleanse, and sometimes that's to the mutant champ's benefit, but against Zemo, like, he's just going to eventually root you and stuff if you keep doing that, and then he's just going to start doing a bunch of damage to you with either bleeds or furies from you being bleed immune. So the fact that Emma just is a generic prowess gaining mutant that does not care about debuffs, of course she'll still place some on the special 1, special 2, and special 3, but you don't need them to do anything. If they get cleansed and stuff, who cares? You just do a crap ton of damage on your basics, and then eventually your special 2, and then the defender goes down. So next up, we're going to go fight Nick Fury. And for Nick, we're just showing how quickly she can get rid of these 2 health pools that he has. And yeah, of course, the first one is going to go very, very fast, because we're just going to build up to our special 2, and then he's just going to die. So that's going to be pretty nice. Again, like, not every time you're going to get a double crit when you're playing Emma, but I also didn't re-record these, and I was getting my double crits very consistently. There I actually didn't, but still we brought him down to 7% because we got a crit on the second hit. And the fact that you have so much extra challenger rating now for being a rank 5 and ascended also makes it a lot easier to get the crits. So yeah, that definitely helps out a lot. And then here we're just going to go ahead and finish off his second life. Of course, once we get to 2 bars, it's just going to be over for him. I'll drop the special 2 here, and then that's both of Nick Fury's health pools just gone in just over 30 seconds probably. 46, okay, definitely more than 30 seconds. I don't know what I was thinking there, but 46 is still very, very good for a champ who can't cheese Nick Fury's second life, of course. And then at this point in the video, I'd just like to ask if you are enjoying the video so far and aren't subscribed yet, please consider hitting subscribe, of course only if you are enjoying the content. I don't normally ask this type of thing for most of my content, but for the Ultimate Showcase videos, they take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and if you feel like that effort was warranted and you're just enjoying the video and looking forward to seeing the rest of it and the more showcases that have to come, please consider hitting subscribe, like, and of course hype on the video as well, all the YouTube things that are important for you to know. So now we're gonna go fight Nico Minoru, and these are with collectives activated, I believe. So because of the fact that we have a significant advantage over the defender, and this is not a BGs Simulator fight anymore because we have so much extra attack and they don't have so much extra health, I'm gonna go ahead and show both Nico with this first health pool and then the second health pool as well, so that you can get a clearer, look at how the damage works. So yeah, we'll go fight this Nico here, who's already almost dead, because yeah, the fact that your heavy attack just like barely gives the opponent any power is just so good, of course, when you're in diamond form. And then you can just get to 2 bars before they drop a single special attack. It's kind of insane. And then, yeah, we're going to go fight this Nico with 650,000 health, which is actually more than a BG's defender with collectives would have. So it's almost like rank 5A versus rank 5, probably, closer to that. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty good fight as well. We're going to go ahead and do 41, bring her all the way down to 41% right there. And then here I trigger my diamond form whenever I block that hit because of Emma's Sig ability. So that makes me go poison immune again, and then I can dex the special attack normally. And then I'm going to go ahead and just keep hitting her a bunch here, hopefully get some nice crits, and then go ahead and bait one more special 2. Diamond form actually is going to trigger for my Sig right here. I don't know if I was accurate when I said it the first time. But there we get the diamond form so we can dex it freely, and then we go for the special 2, and that's Nico down in 2 special 2s, which took probably about 45 seconds. 48, yep. Now we're going to go fight Spider-Woman, same thing as Nico, collectives are on, we're going to go fight both health pools, and important to note, there is no inequity on the CCP beta, which is making my damage look a lot better than if I was fighting a person who had inequity active on their defender. But still, we can show off how good Emma's utility is for this fight, because we are able to prevent evade entirely just by being in telepath form, which is of course very good. And then if we get our crits, then we're just locked in to get some really nice damage off. We're not in freaking telepath form, that's what I was trying to say, when I dropped that heavy in the diamond form right there after the special 2, but good news is we have that 50% concussion after her special 2 as well, which is of course going to help, and there we kill her even before the next special 2 would happen. But we'll also look at the next health pool, which is going to be 640,000 health, so yeah, closer to like a rank 5 Spider-Woman on BG's defense probably. Now I'd assume that'd be close to what this is. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do the same rotation, just do our heavies in the diamond form, which give us a lot more power, give the opponent less power, and then start building up to telepath form very fast. And I'll drop my first special 2 there with only 7 prowess. We do get some crits though, which is nice. And then, yeah, challenger ratings helps a lot to get the extra crits, and we have so much extra challenger rating because of my Emma being rank 5 A1, and hopefully she'll be A2 soon. I don't think I'm close to that right now. I think I've only pulled her from the Ascension stuff once, but then I'll go ahead and drop a special 2 here with 15 prowess, and then we'll do 76k, 177k, and that'll of course wipe her out. So that was probably about the same amount of time as Nico. Actually, it was faster. It was only 44 seconds. So move on to in-season Alliance War gameplay, and I point out in-season because we are boosted for all these fights, because you boost an in-season Alliance War. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but that's just what we have to do. So we're going to go fight this Punisher on node 31 first. This is a pretty cool one. Basically, if you're not bleed immune, Punisher is going to go unblockable, or unless you just like don't ever block hits in this fight, so he can't bleed you through the block. So what we're going to do is build up some parries, get our prowess up, and then we're going to go ahead and just try to like nuke him with our special 2. And the problem is, we're actually going to do so much damage that I'm going to accidentally push him to his indestructible threshold, and then the special 2 does literally nothing. So that was unfortunate, because yeah, we did too much damage, which is almost never a problem, but in this case it was. So yeah, that's annoying, but we can go ahead and just build to another special 2, and yeah, we are still not unblockable. Like, we still aren't making him unblockable because we have the diamond form when we need it. And then I'll drop my special 2 here. We actually don't get the second crit, which is like, okay, great, thanks. Appreciate that. But yeah, we're still fine because we're still in diamond form when we need to be, and he's never going unblockable. So this fight's still just going very, very well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and drop a special 1. Again, get no crits. I'm like, dude, why does this have to go so well, like first try on the beta server, but when I'm on the live server and it actually matters, it doesn't. But it's just the RNG of the game, honestly. But yeah, the fight goes down there. It's still like literally no issues with it. And we'll go ahead and fight this Black Panther Civil War next on Hazard Shift, Bleed, and Cold Snap. We have a Wags free fight here as well, which will make it easier for us to parry. And then for this Black Panther, I think I went into it with the mindset of like, let's just stay in diamond form the entire fight. And then I realized I could also just like nuke him with a special 2. That also seems like a really good idea. So we're going to start out by like the mindset of just spamming special 1s so I stay in diamond form, because I'm in diamond form if I have less power than Black Panther. So if we just spam special 1s, we're going to be almost always having less power than him. And that would keep me immune to both the hazard shifts, of course, because Emma is immune to Bleed, Poison, Incinerate, Shock, and Cold Snap if she's in diamond form, which is pretty ridiculous. So I did that, and then eventually I'm just going to be like, what if I just drop special 2s instead? And because that sounds a lot more fun. And then here, whenever we trigger the Bleed, Incinerate, or Shock immunity, so all the hazard shifts except for Poison and Cold Snap, we'll get extra prowess too. So then I can get a lot of prowess in diamond form still, and then we go for a special 2 there. We just destroy him with the crits, and then we still have 92% of our health, because we took a little bit of Cold Snap damage, but of course, like, we weren't in telepath form that long, and we're immediately back in diamond after the special 2. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bait his special here, and then we'll go ahead and just nuke him again, right back into telepath form. Can build up a little bit more prowess with the crits, drop the special 2 there, and then he's gone. I think I was actually running the Phoenix synergy for those 2 war fights. In case you were wondering what that does, it gives me 2 prowess instead of 1 whenever I gain a prowess, which is obviously very, very useful, but it didn't really change the outcome of the fight there, especially for a hazard shift fight where you're getting 2 prowess every time you trigger the Bleed, Incinerate, or Shock immunity anyway. So yeah, it's just very easy to farm prowess on those hazard shift nodes, and that just makes her really fun to use them for. So, node 38 Bullseye, actually, and you saw the BGs Bullseye fight go very, very well, and then this fight's just going to be like almost as equally ridiculous. I do have a Wags pre-fight as well, so we can get the Bleed immunity. I'm sorry, we can trigger a parry when he's debuff immune still, which is very helpful, especially when you want to be lending heavies. But we only use 1 heavy this fight, actually, because I just do it to knock him down. And then after that, we're just going to go ahead and kill him, like right here. So there's 154,000 crit, and then 362,000 crit. And that's Bullseye, 24-second mini. So, very, very cool. We'll go fight Lumitrix next on node 45, so the same node as Black Panther. This one obviously a bit harder because Lumitrix has a lot more of a defender kit than Black Panther if you have a Wags. And then yeah, we have Wags in this fight once again, because yeah, it just makes this stuff a hell of a lot easier, so we can parry whenever we want and not worry about Conflictor for it. So go ahead and read the nodes. I'm going to use an invul boost, and I actually was checking Lumitrix's abilities there because I wanted to see what the special 3 does, because I was like, maybe I just push him to special 3 and like invul tank. And then I read it, I was like, oh, so that's actually a really, really bad idea, because he'll get an invisibility that I can't remove, and then I just can't touch him for like 10 seconds or whatever, and that could get really bad. So we're not going to invul push him red, which is kind of better for the gameplay purposes, because that's almost like cheating. But we're going to go ahead and farm some prowess off of my parries, and then I think after this parry, I'm going to go ahead and do a heavy. And then start building up to my special 2 and stuff. So yeah, we're in telepath form now. I somehow got hit there. I don't really know exactly how that happened, but it's fine. I go for the special 2 here. Don't get a crit on the second hit, but he's below 50% health already, which is great. And I'll just go for my parry heavies, and then he can't evade, where we have him stunned, of course. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit him a little bit, go ahead and push him to 2 bars of power, and then we'll bait his special 2, which is going to, oh, we're going to bait the special 1, actually. Well, I mean, he chose to drop the special 1. If he dropped the special 2, then I'd spend a telepath and I could ignore the evade, but I could also just remove the invisibility if he dropped the special 1 as well. So, that's how that fight went. Okay, now we're going to go fight Node 7, Chioth. Very boring fight, but this one I wanted to point out because Emma's bleed immune, which is great against Chioth, of course, and then she's in that way in diamond form, but also if you trigger your diamond form sig ability, then you're going to be able to get the diamond form back even when you're in telepath, which is good because, yeah, we're going to be in telepath almost the entire fight because we can't drop a special here. And it's really nice to show how hard Emma's basics can actually hit, because Emma's prowess doesn't just affect your special attack damage, it increases both your critical rating and crit damage rating. So that means your basic attacks are just going to start hitting very hard too, because you're almost always critting on them, and then the crits that you do land are actually hitting harder than normal as the prowess goes up. So we're literally just critting her to death with basics, and that's pretty much what you always do for this Chioth placement. And it just makes it to where Emma is one of the better options for this one because of how hard she can hit on the basics, and also the emergency bleed immunity if your Chioth does something stupid like that and just special intercepts me. So we actually do trigger diamond form there from the sig ability. The sig scaling, basically, like, the way your diamond form sig ability works is if you are taking a hit that's going to do a certain amount of damage to you, you're going to trigger diamond form instead. And that damage threshold is lower depending on your sig level. So my M is obviously sig 200. So we're actually triggering that diamond form earlier, like with taking less damage than normal, basically. So if you want your Emma to be triggering that diamond form on emergency more often, you might want that Emma's sig to be a bit higher. That being said, I don't think she's a champion who needs high sig at all, or even to be awakened. So here we're going to go ahead and fight Enchantress, and this is on node 16, and this one's pretty cool because this has special burst Tranquilize, which is a node that's just going to place a Tranquilize on me when they drop a special. And the cool thing for Emma is she's a champion who does not need debuffs to do anything. You'll place a Power Sting on the special 1, a Concussion on the special 2, and a Power Leech on the special 3. If you can comment what a Power Leech does without looking it up, I would be greatly impressed. But yeah, all those things, like, they don't mean anything. They're just like, Power Sting's a little bit extra damage. Not really, because it does not hit very hard. Concussion is 50%, and like maybe that'll be helpful sometimes. Power Leech, you're never getting a special 3 anyway. So yeah, it's just like you don't need debuffs to do anything. Who cares if you have that Tranquilize on you? Which is just really nice when champions' kits aren't slowed down by like nodes that make it to where they can't gain buffs easy, or nodes that make it to where they can't place debuffs easily. And Emma also doesn't gain buffs, because all of her prowess is passive, and the only buff you're going to trigger is Dex, and that doesn't, you don't need the Dex buff to do anything for your kit, of course. So that's pretty cool. Alright, now we're going to go fight Atuma on Hazard Shift, Poison, and Cold Snap. This fight goes, like, not great, but this is like a proof of concept kind of fight. Like, hear me out. This is actually a really good fight. It just looked a little bit rough from my end. And so this is Cold Snap and Poison, the only 2 hazard shifts that Emma isn't immune to. I mean, sorry, she is immune to them. She doesn't gain prowess from them, is what I'm trying to say. And so what we're going to do is just spam Special 1 the entire fight. And because of Atuma's concussions, he's going to make it to where he's going to place those hazard shift debuffs almost every time you hit him. And that means you really, really want to be double immune, or else you're going to have to just slow play the entire fight. As you can see here, it's going great so far. He's below 50% health, and we are still above 80%. And that's also due to the fact that Emma has a lot of physical resist in Diamond form, which, you know, of course makes sense if you're a friggin' Diamond. So we're taking so much less damage from his Thorns because of that physical resist. And then eventually Atuma's going to start going unstoppable because we have to continue to like bait his special 2s and stuff because I don't want to push him red. And then I get caught by the special 2 and he crits me and holy crap, I'm almost dead. So that was awful, obviously, and then I'm going to take a lot of Cold Snap damage there, but we're going to switch back into Diamond form. And I'm like, holy crap, please tell me I'm not going to die here. And then I'm just like, I need to kill him with my basic attacks, and yeah, we're going to be able to. But like, that fight would have been so good if I just didn't get caught by the special 2, because that took like 60% of my health off. So yeah, you understand why that's like a good fight. Just don't eat the frickin' special 2, and then Emma's very good there. So, anyway, that's all for the Alliance War. We're actually going to look at event quests next. And Emma is like the queen of short bursty fights. She is like the definition of a short fight champion. And then, of course, when you give her 350% extra attack rating, that also makes short fights go a lot faster. It's a lot of extra attack rating, but what I'm trying to say is the fact that she's a character who gets to 2 bars of power in like the first 15 seconds of the fight, and then you drop your special 2 before the opponent has the opportunity to drop their first special attack. It's like the same thing that people were saying like with CGR back in the day, with like his rotation of like getting to special 2 before the opponent can drop the special. Emma does the exact same thing. You just do 3 heavies in Diamond, and then you do a combo ending in Light, you do a combo ending in Medium, and then you're dropping your special 2 before the opponent can drop their first special. It's absolutely ridiculous utility. And then we're going to get to use it here. Actually, it looks like they're getting some additional... Oh, right. Karnak actually gets power when you hit his block. I forgot that he did that. Or he hits your block. Yeah, anyway, he still dies in 14 seconds. But I think it's Gamora is the next one where you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And then, so we go ahead and for parry there, parry here. We're getting the unblockable from the node. And then when we land an unblockable hit, we're going to get the 70% fury. So that's where we're getting all of our extra attack rating and stuff. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop the special 2 here, and then, yeah, first hit literally kills her. So, if you want to have fun in Mutant EQ, use your Emma Frost, because she's going to take every defender in like 14 seconds. I actually did one more fight. I didn't realize I did this 4 times. Okay. Because why not? 14-second fights are fun to watch. And then 600 and something thousand hit crits are also fun to watch. Apparently, and me taking hits is probably also fun to watch, but not for me. So anyway, I'm going to drop the special... I probably could have just dropped it there with 4 prowess, but we're going to drop it here. And then there's a 623k crit with, of course, not even the max prowess. So, yeah. Now we're going to fight this Dr. Bong from the EQ. This is pre-collectives. All those fights were pre-collectives from the EQ. And then I actually just closed my eyes when the nodes were on. I don't know why I did that. But you saw the nodes. You can go back and look at them if you want. Anyway, they're probably relevant. I don't remember what they were. But this was a pretty cool fight, I think. So we're going to do the Emma thing where we just do our 3 heavies in Diamond, and then we're going to go ahead and eat hits. That's not actually the Emma thing, but we don't want to finish our combo because then he reversals us, and that's bad. So what we're going to do is just do our intercepts, and then I guess there's a reason I'm not going for my parries. I don't know what that reason is, but there we got a nice crit on the special. We're going to try to parry his specials, which is going to give us prowess, which is nice. And then going to go for my heavy here. I think this is Limber maybe. And that's why I was like not parrying so much early on. Eat a combo there, so that's great. And then I eat a combo again. Jeez, why the hell did I even put this fight in the video? Whatever, it's funny, right? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and drop my special 2 right here with 7 prowess. Get some nice crits. Of course, he's down to 14% now. And then he's going to drop his special 2 here, which does not have any projectiles for me to dex. And then I dex there. actually the last one, which wasn't a projectile, but I did trigger dexterity on it. Go for the special one, kill him, and there's that Dr. Blanc fight. So, I don't know, thought that one was pretty cool. So now we're going to move on to Act 9 gameplay, and this is going to be against Moondragon, this Moondragon boss in... This might be the first quest in 9.4. I don't remember if this was the first or like the second or third or something, whatever. But let's just see how fast Emma can basically get rid of 1.4 million health. That's kind of what this fight is, because the nodes are not too significant. She's going to place the Historians on us when we parry, energy vulnerability as well, and then there's a protection that we need to remove by intercepting. They're unfortunate diamond form trigger because we lost some prowess from that, but that's fine. She drops her special 2 here, and I need to intercept once more to trigger the protection. And then we get our crits there. It looks like I have the Phoenix energy on too, which is nice. And then, boom, first special 2 already down below 50% health. Nice crit on the heavy there. And then I'm going to go ahead and get her to drop her special here. And then, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and combo, try to build up some more prowess. Because of the fact this is questing, of course, it's a lot easier to get the Phoenix energy, which is very, very helpful for this fight. Get some really nice crits there, double crit on the special 2, and then Moondragon, of course, just gets wiped out. And that was 1.4 million health boss in less than a minute. So, really cool stuff there. I have not even shown Emma with recoils for some reason, but Emma is extremely good with the recoil masteries, and I'm surprised I didn't do that at some point in all the gameplay I recorded. But basically, Emma with recoils, I guess I can just talk about this fight real quick. This is Special Connoisseur. You can only do damage with specials with prowess, and of course Emma does that. So we're going to do our big special attacks with the prowess, and it sucks that we can't use our basic attack damage to actually benefit a lot, because she does hit very hard on the basics, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, we can only do special attack damage with prowess, and Emma is perfect for that. Anyway, back to recoils. Emma is very, very good with recoils, because what recoils is going to do, it's going to give you 60% extra attack, and that benefits some champions more than others, because it benefits your attack rating. But if you're a champion who gains a Fury or something, I always use Hulkling as an example. If you're a champion who a lot of their damage comes from boosting their attack rating from the Furies from Hulklings, Special 2, or just the extra attack rating gets from the basic attacks, it's going to get, the recoil attack boost is going to get drowned out a lot in that, because when you do the 60% extra attack rating with recoils, it's not going to make your Furies have 60% more potency too. So like, if your Furies from your Special 2 give you 120% extra attack rating, then the recoil damage that you're going to add is 60% to that. So recoils is like only half of the extra attack rating you get from getting from Hulkling's Furies, and they're probably a lot more potent than that too. I just don't exactly know. But if you're using a character like Emma, who doesn't increase her own attack rating in her kit in any way, she's obviously designed around not increasing her attack rating. So any scenario where she is going to feel completely ridiculous, because 60% extra attack rating on a champion who's not trying to increase their own attack in their base kit is going to feel so much more significant. And that's just like a flat extra 60% damage all the time. Whereas with Hulkling, like, if you're expecting your attack rating to be at 120% from those Furies, then adding another 60% just feels pretty minuscule. Anyway, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but basically I'm just saying that recoils on champions who aren't trying to increase their attack rating in their base kit feel significantly better than other champions. And of course, the fact that she is double immune, because you're just going to start the fight in diamond form, of course, being bleed and poison immune, that's perfect. The fact that you're not taking an insane amount of recoil damage, especially for the fights that you're trying to use Emma for, because most fights you're trying to use Emma for are going to be done in 2 special 2s. And of course, that means you're only going to take 1 recoil damage, because ideally your second special 2 kills, which it wouldn't here against this shield, so we'd need 3. But that's because we literally can't use our basic attacks to deal damage, which sucks. And like I said, Emma's basic attacks hit sneakily hard. They're actually very, very good. So, yeah, there's that shield fight. That's the Special Connoisseur lane. And yeah, Emma, very, very good for Special Connoisseur. One of the better options for it. And just with how limited your damage is, really nice stuff. So, last fight is going to be against this Namor on this Caltrops power shield lane. And like, there was actually an incentive for you to drop specials into the opponent's block. But like, you want them to crit, and I ended up just doing them, like dropping them straight to his face instead of into his block, and they did more damage than they would into block, even though you're supposed to drop specials into the block because you want the freaking massive chunky crits. And yeah, whenever we trigger Caltrops as well, just by dexing back, then we're gonna get all the prowess we want. That's my favorite part of her buff by far, is the prowess off of the Bleed, Incinerator, Shock immunity, because it just gives you so much extra prowess and makes playing in Diamond so much easier, because then you don't need to worry about how much prowess you can actually get when you're in Telepath, because you'll have so much from earlier. So here, I'm going to bait a special 1, and then we'll go for the special 2 here in a moment. With the 15 prowess, we get the crit on the second hit. I think that was like 570,000 damage. It went by so fast I couldn't see. 579. Yep, and that's my Emma. I almost did one more fight where I was going to go fight Glycon in 8.4. Very, very fun fight for Emma. If you want to have fun with Emma, go fight the Glycon boss in 8.4. Because she's like perfect for that boss, but I didn't do it because I didn't want to run the quest again, and I've already done that before multiple times on my channel. You can go back and watch my rank 3 showcase with her, and I think I've done that fight as a solo video as well. I'm against the Glycon boss, but very, very fun boss there. Recommend you go check it out if you want to see that one. But that's my Emma. I love this champion so much, and she's just one of my favorite mutants in the entire game by far. She's so good for the short fights and the competitive modes, like such as Alliance War. Dude, she's my favorite champion to make work in Alliance War, because like, is everything she's trying to do like maybe the top options for something? No, but she's so good for the hazard chip nodes and node 38 oftentimes, and a bunch of skill defender placements that you see. And so when I see a map that just has like a bunch of skill defender minis, and I'm like, geez, I can actually use Emma for all these and it's gonna be super fun. It's just one of my favorite characters to use in war and to plan for war. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video, and yeah, do be on the lookout for more Ultimate Showcases that are coming out later this month. If you did enjoy the video, considering like, sub, and hype, I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.